Hi dear students, welcome back to another session of English. In the last session we saw Mr. Fogg put forward a condition to his friend Stuart that he will go around the world and come back in 80 days, but at the expense of Mr. Stuart. Now let us see Stuart's reaction to it. Stuart, annoyed at the persistence of his friend, "It's absurd." "Very well, Mr. Fogg. It shall be so. I'll wager £4,000 on it." Flanagan, "Calm yourself, my dear Stuart. It's only a joke." So, now Stuart says it is really absurd. He says that he is ready to give him the money. He says that he bets that he will give £4,000 if Mr. Fogg wins the challenge. Whereas Flanagan says, "Stuart, calm down, dear. It's only a joke." Stuart, "When I say I'll wager, I mean it." So Stuart is saying that I am really serious. When I am saying that I am ready to bet the money, I will. Fogg, "All right, I have a deposit of 20,000 which I will willingly risk." Now, okay, Mr. Fogg is ready to risk his £20,000 for this challenge. Stuart, £20,000, £20,000, which you could lose by a single accidental delay. Fogg, quietly, "The unforeseen does not exist." Now, Stuart is saying that you are going to risk £20,000 on a challenge where you may lose it only by being late for a few minutes because of some unexpected accidental delay. Okay, and Fogg says the unforeseen does not exist, which means that the unexpected things does not exist. Then Stuart, "But Mr. Fogg, in order not to exceed the time, you must jump mathematically from the trains up to the steamers and from the steamers upon the train again." Fogg, "I'll jump mathematically." Stuart, "You're joking." Now Stuart says Mr. Fogg that he should be very careful in time, calculating the time when he shifts from the steamers to the train and from the train to the steamers. So Fogg says, "You don't have to worry about it, I'll take care of it, I will jump mathematically." Now Stuart saying that you are really joking, right? Then Fogg seriously, "A true Englishman doesn't joke when he is talking about so serious a thing as a wager." Now according to Fogg, no Englishman makes a joke when it comes to such a serious thing, that is wagering or betting the money. "I will bet £20,000 against anyone who wishes that I will make the tour of the world in 80 days or less, in 1920 hours, or 115,200 minutes. Do you accept?" So now Fogg is very clear that he is ready to bet £20,000 in for this challenge. Stuart, Ralph, Flanagan, together after some discussion, "We accept." Fogg, "Good. The train leaves for Dar at 9:15. I'll take it." Now, so he is starting the journey that day itself. And then Stuart, "This very evening?" Fogg, "This very evening." He takes out a pocket almanac and consults it. Okay, almanac is a book that gives information about the sun, the moon, the rise and fall of the sea level, etc. for each day of the year. Now, as today is Wednesday, the 2nd of October, I shall be due in London in this very club on Saturday, the 21st of December at 9:15 p.m. or else the £20,000 now deposited in my name at Barings will belong to you. In fact and in right, gentlemen, here is a check for the amount. So now Fogg is saying that today, that is 2nd of October, I am standing here in London at this club. I will be back here on 21st December at what time? Yes, 9:15. If he doesn't reach on time, then he has given the check of £20,000 to these gentlemen, and thus he puts forward his challenge. The clock strikes 7 and the party disperses so that Mr. Fogg can make preparations for his departure. Now it is 7 o'clock and the people who are standing together, the three of them, disperses or goes away so that Mr. Fogg can make the packing. Then scene 2. At Savile Row, Passepartout is relaxing. Now when it comes to Mr. Fogg's house, who is relaxing? Yes, Passepartout was relaxing. Passepartout to himself. Now this is just what I want in a job. Mr. Fogg is not at all unpredictable. He won't go chasing around the world looking for adventure. Why, he won't even come home tonight earlier than midnight. I imagine that we shall get well together, Mr. Fogg and I. So now Passepartout is thinking about his life in this Savile Row, about Mr. Fogg, who said that he will return by midnight. So even he is not going to come on time. He will be late till midnight. Passepartout drifts into a comfortable doze. Fogg enters the house. Passepartout. Now, Fogg had said to Passepartout that he will be back at midnight. It's only 7 and so when Passepartout heard the voice of Mr. Fogg, he thinks he's imagining. Passepartout thinking to himself, it can't be me someone is calling for. It's not midnight yet. Mr. Fogg should still be out. So he is thinking that it's not someone calling me. It might be calling someone else. Fogg, without raising his voice any further. Passepartout. Passepartout hurries out to Mr. Fogg. Now, second time Fogg calls Passepartout very calmly without raising his voice, and then Passepartout gets an idea, yes, it's Mr. Fogg calling him, and so he hurries out to Mr. Fogg. Fogg, calmly, I called you twice. Now Fogg is saying very calmly that I called you 2 times. Passepartout, but it is not midnight. He shows him his watch. Fogg, I know, and I don't blame you. We start for Dar and Calais in 10 minutes. So now Passepartout is saying, but you said that you will be back at midnight. It's not midnight, and he shows his watch. And Fogg says that I don't blame you for that because we have to start to Dar in 10 minutes. A puzzled grin spread over Passepartout's round face. Clearly, he has not understood correctly. So he becomes puzzled or confused. Passepartout, Monsieur, is going to leave home. Fogg, yes, we are going round the world. Now Passepartout is asking, Master, so you are going out, you are leaving home. And Fogg is saying, yes, not I, but we are going together. Passepartout opens his eyes wide, raises his eyebrow, holds up his hands and seems about to collapse with shock and despair. So now he is shocked, his eyes were wide, he raises his eyebrows and holds up his hands, and it was seen completely that he is shocked. Passepartout, murmuring in disbelief, round the world. So he is murmuring that round the world. In 80 days, so we haven't a moment to lose. So now Fogg says that they have to go around the world in 80 days and so they don't have any time to waste. Now this is the chapter. It gets over here. We will meet in the next session. Till then, bye.